So today I'm doing some reviews of some of my favorite products. Just a little bit about me. I am a triathlete. I've done a couple of Ironman. I'm starting to get into ultra running. I've done, 4 50-mile runs or longer so far. I'm heading for 100K, which is like 63 miles, and my goal is to make a 100-mile run. So something I noticed early on in my running, and this is long before I'm doing, marathon distances. I started noticing I was going on runs and hydration became an issue. I do runs and have a water ball that I just do a little loop and circle back and grab drinks. And I started to notice the difference being hydrated. And we all know how important that is. And if you're watching this, you already probably know how important it is. So the first thing I picked up, and this is probably a 10-year-old review. So obviously you're not going to be able to buy this exact model. I wouldn't even recommend this exact model. But Nathan Hydration, I gotta say, I'm very impressed with. So I've had this thing probably about 10 years. A lot of their design hasn't changed for the most part. Their bottles are still pretty similar for these types of running belts. So that's why I'm doing this review, because any of their new products are going to be very similar to this. Some features that I'm sure have changed, which I'll discuss. But I gotta say that this fits very good. It doesn't bounce around. I mean, that's probably the number one thing I was worried about with a running belt, was that it would bounce around too much on the hip. I get chafage. And this one, I don't have, I've been running in this thing for 10 years. I haven't had any issues with that at all. These water balls fit snugly. They're so easy to just pop in. You feel them go in. So, when looking at reviews of other products, there were some of the complaints that I noticed was that you didn't know what was in and it'd pop and fall off, or you'd lose it. These ones, I know they're in. They fit snugly. And then when they're in there, they're in there. These aren't filled with water. This one has a little bit in it, but you can see that they stay in there very well. One complaint about this, and granted, 10 years ago, my cell phone doesn't fit in this anymore. So I'm sure the newer ones, I've looked at them, they look bigger. I haven't measured them out or anything like that. My cell phone doesn't fit in this, which I think it would at the time, back when it was the iPhone 5 or whatever we were on at the time. My phone did fit in this, which is crazy now looking back on that. It has a nice little pocket, and I see it on the newer designs here where you can put trash, you can do gels, whatever you need in there. Like I said, the newer ones have a spot for your phone. This one, the zipper has frozen up on me, and actually the zipper tab broke off. Years of sweat, I gotta say, probably deteriorated the metal a little bit enough. It got crusty in there, and it just stopped moving. It's unfortunate. I don't know if that's been addressed by the company, but also, if you're buying one and keeping it 10 years, you can't complain about that, right? I've lost some weight over the years. I'm down to the smallest size. I probably could have gone with a smaller size than this, but it does have a really good system of adjusting to size, which, it's a belt. How hard is this? These most of the models have these little, ties on the side. I've never really found use for them. I know some people put gels and stuff in them. I really have never used those. So, highly recommend Nathan as a brand, and their belt system are very good. So I want to get into a vest too from Nathan. So because I've had such good luck with this, in the last year I bought a vest, a hydration vest. So this is Nathan. I'll put the description of what the name of the pack, VaporAir. I'll put the description in the name of this in the description. So I spent quite a bit of time looking for vests and doing quite a bit of research, and I wanted one that was reasonably priced, but I needed something that would carry more water than this. So I started to do, this is back when I started to get into ultra running. I need to carry more water than what this would allow me to carry. And that's, vests seemed like the next logical option. So because I had such good luck with Nathan, it probably steered me to this pack more than others. Similar reviews, similar price things. I ended up going with Nathan. Part of what I love, these water balls fit in here nicely. They're a very nice fit. They fit snug. Once again, you can cinch them up, so you don't notice much bouncing around. They stay pretty firm where they are. Yeah, I'm very happy with that feature and how it fits. And I've used quite a bit larger water balls. I do notice when I have the larger water balls that when I'm running, my arms tend to bump them a little bit, which annoys me. But we're talking about quite a bit bigger water balls. So I can carry the 2 here that I would carry on that, or I can go with larger bottles, which is nice, especially if we're going a longer run. But this last weekend, I think last weekend, for the first time, I ran with my Camelbak Bladder. So plenty of space to put a bladder in here. It's got a nice little spot. This is a nice little feature, which probably most of them have. Or Velcro's in and hangs, so it's hanging from the top of your back. I gotta say, running with the bladder was very comfortable. I was kind of surprised. I was worried it'd be bouncing around a lot. It felt very natural to have it running on there. The weight sits in a really nice place. Same thing with the running on the chest. Even compared to the vest, the belt. On your hips is a nice place to have it, but the chest is actually, I gotta say, a nicer place. It feels more comfortable on the run. I'm very happy with this. The one thing I did notice with having the bladder on my back, and I just had a t-shirt underneath. I was going for a 30-mile run that day, and we'll get into that point I was going to bring up in a second. I don't have it here. So there's a magnetic little place for this thing to clip in. So the tube comes out and it goes across your body and it hits here. It was very easy to just, I was worried about the tube and where it'd hang and how to cook it and it'd be flopping around. It was so easy to just snap across my chest. It wasn't bothering me at all being right here. I could just grab it, take a drink, and pop it right back in. I never had to fumble around and find it. And it seems like a pretty strong magnet. It grips and you feel it grip. So that was very cool. I did notice, so I was on a 30-mile run that day. I did notice that it did chafe up my back a little bit. 30 miles of it bouncing around on my back, it makes sense. When I was doing the reviews, I saw somebody recommend getting a size down from what they thought they needed, and I ended up going with that. I think this is a small, and normally I would have gone to medium. I think that was a really good choice. I have this, I believe, cinched up. I guess I could cinch it up more, but basically at its max, it fits me snug. And maybe if I tighten it up a little bit, or as it's getting colder out, I start wearing more layers underneath, that chafing won't be such an issue on longer runs. I run with my Garmin a lot, and I have my phone with me. So like I said, my phone doesn't fit in this. My phone fits so nicely in these pockets. I can put it in the back. There's so many places to put things. Running with nutrition, it's got a great little spot for, like I put my trash in here. It's got spots for nutrition. I use these little zipper pockets for gels here on the side that are pretty easily accessible. The back, obviously to get to the back, I got to take it off. And part of the disadvantage, I think, with at least running with a vest, if you're in a race, like you're doing a marathon or something like that, and you get to a place you want to rehydrate, it's a pain to take off the water off your back, the bladder. That's the word I was looking for. To take the bladder off and to refill it. So that would be a problem if you had to do multiple refills. But like I said, I was going for a 30-mile run, and it was just easy, and that was actually a perfect amount for me on that day. Some of these straps, so I could probably do without all these straps. There's a lot that flops around back here, and I've kind of got them, I overlap them and hook them into each other. Having the bladder in, this tightens up a bit, so it's not as floppy. When I have it empty, there's a lot flopping around here. I don't really use this, but I could see, I was tempted to just snip this off and just get rid of it, but I think I'd use this hiking too, if I'm doing some long runs, I have a place to put quite a bit of gear. If I'm carrying, there's a lot you could fit in here with these bungees, and there's extra compartments in here, so it can hold quite a bit. So I gotta say I'm very happy with this purchase. I would definitely highly recommend Nathan as a brand. I can't say I have a lot of other brand knowledge, because I've been happy with Nathan, and I don't see myself changing anytime soon. So thank you for your time, and good luck running.